A woman looked uncomfortable. She had noticed me staring at her while everybody else was looking at the paintings. "What do you think?" she asked, gesturing towards a canvas with a wine glass. She had decided to punish my rudeness by making polite conversation at me. I stopped staring. A camera flashed the other side of the room, causing a fat man named Roger to introduce himself to me. He seemed happy, but the kind of happiness that is forced into a man after years of his wife training him to be, and he had forgotten how he used to express boredom. I shook his hand apologetically, as if to set the tone for the 3 minutes of conversation I was about to ignore. I was led by the arm to meet Caroline. She was shorter than I expected, which was strange because I had no expectations at all and had actually spoken to her several times before, but not enough to remember. "We're emerging artists," she pronounced, invading my personal space. I looked puzzled. She interpreted this to mean she had won, but I wasn't aware there was a battle. Before I could think this, she had rotated so as to push her wine glass against someone else's and say some more words. A speech began with clapping, interrupting my study of a fire extinguisher's instruction label. "Art often leads me to these things," I joked, talking to all the people that were not stood around me. The speech had finished by the time I turned around, and several faces looked angrily in my direction. "What the fuck is up with you?" said Hannah, balancing on shoes. I must have taken too long to reply, because she huffed the left side of her fringe and clip-clopped frantically towards the door. None of the paintings had sold by the end of the night, but several of them had little circular red dots below them. A woman with a bad haircut and desperate eyes squeezed a smoked salmon-scented laugh from her lips and clung to the arm of a cousin who had the face of a man who had just been given a bad present and was desperately thinking of something nice to say and a place in his house to hang a 4-foot canvas that didn't look like anything but definitely annoyed him. They were both polite. Everyone now moved to a nearby pub for drinks. I wanted to be a caretaker, but the caretaker called me weird by suggesting I catch up with my friends. He smiled at me with nervous eyes until I walked away. On the way to the pub, my arm was expected to be held by Hannah. "We can go if you want," she threatened, meaning the exact opposite. "No," I chuckled. "I'm enjoying the chatter." This was a lie, but I couldn't think of anything else I wanted to do, so I thought I may as well continue to be both passive and stubborn in the way that she hates, but I enjoy, but also hate. The pub was noisy and I had trouble getting quite as drunk as I'd intended. "Whoa," said a controlling man. "Go steady." I had drunk several pints of beer by pouring the entire contents into my mouth in one go. Some of the liquid had run around the side of the glass, arriving on my shirt, which upset 2 women, or maybe it was the fact that the beer was not for me, and Elizabeth explained I was never invited to the pub. Simon thinks I'm weird, and Hannah had left over 2 hours ago. I was beginning to think that maybe I had managed to get as drunk as I wanted, but in fact not wanted to anymore. I vomited to confirm my feelings and fell asleep in a park. The next morning was actually 2 days later, and I prodded my gums in a vain attempt to clean a furry tooth. I was single now, or at least I had assumed I was because of the 37 missed calls on my phone, and the brick through my car window confirmed this. "Can't we still be friends?" I typed in a text message, before deleting it and making some cheese on toast.